This is my ergonomics handling collection that I'll be using for object-based learning to teach Key Stage 3 mixed group of year 9. This is the resource pack that it would come with it. It would be attached to the box, and inside has has simple notes on the slides that the teacher will be going through. Any main points that need to be addressed as we're going along, such as health and safety. Easier version of the notes, so that way the teacher can follow along as they are teaching the class, so they don't have to carry around or get lost as to what needs to be discussed. On top of that, there is a how to make Play-Doh recipe for one of the tasks that goes on halfway through the lesson. Simple recipe, but this is a sheet that goes on. The other one is a handout sheet for the students to work through. This is easier for the students to see, as some of them are visually impaired and have a hard time seeing the board, so it's better for them to have notes handed out for them, and that would be in the starter pack. Inside the box, it is tied together. My box is tied together, but they are attached together with Velcro. The reason why it's just tied up is because it creates a handle for the box, so everything is easily put together, assembled and disassembled. The box itself is divided into six boxes, so the box can easily come off. So each table will have its own box for when the lesson begins. This can be left on the table, so that way students will be intrigued and cannot see the content inside. Inside each box has a handling item. So you have the Xbox controller, you have the Wii. Beforehand, the teacher can take this out, which is an attachment to demonstrate and show to the students as well. You have the another Wii controller from a different generation, so it shows the advancement between one generation to the next. Another attachment for that product. You have the Sega, which is one of the first controllers ever made. This is going to provide the basic understanding of what the first consoles were made and how we have developed from the old technology to the new that has changed the way in which we shape controllers for our hands. You have another Switch controller, different generation, that was built handheld with a built-in screen. And you have a Nintendo 64 controller. Again, older generation, but slowly making its advance on there. In each box, they have a protective coat, so that way there's no rattling around inside and it stays pretty loose. It's magnetic closing, so that way if it's closed, it's not going to easily pop open and the product will fall out. Inside has a false bottom as well. So false bottom easily comes out, and underneath would have other equipment. For this task specifically, I have Play-Doh, in which I have made myself, and this would be able to take care of 2 students for the task. Close it back up. Paste that back in. Yes, and this is the Play-Doh that they will be using for the task. It's kept in cling film so that way it stays fresh. Teacher can easily take it out of the box, so that way we can store it in the fridge to make it last longer. This is simple to make, easy to prep beforehand. Only takes about 2 minutes to make this amount, so I would presume about 10 minutes to make the other one. This task was going to be designed for students to be able to make a handle based off their own hand, and then take a small piece and place it where they would feel a button would exist. And then when you take it out, you would give it to your partner next to you and see how it feels onto their compared to on their hand as well. I won't go into the task itself, but this is the parts that are involved in my handling collection. Okay. At the end of the lesson, once the teacher is done, the Play-Doh can be then shaped back and then placed into the fridge to keep it cool, or you can place it back into the box and ready for the next lesson. This in, close, paste on top. This foam creates a barrier so that way students won't look underneath and then immediately pick out the Play-Doh too early on. At the end of the lesson, underneath they are numbered so that way you know which way round, which one connects to what. All the pieces are velcroed together, so if you close it, the pieces together. And these parts can go back inside, and then you can tie it back up together.